Seniors, listen carefully, because what you are about to hear challenges the fundamental assumption many of us have made about aging and circulation. If you have ever dismissed cold feet, a bit of cramping, or that persistent tingling as just getting older, you have been dangerously misled. The truth, unearthed by a massive study involving over 14,000 adults over the age of 60, is that poor blood flow in the lower legs does not simply fade away slowly and predictably over decades, as conventional wisdom suggests. Instead, this critical system often collapses, and it collapses with shocking suddenness. This catastrophic failure can be triggered overnight by tiny, almost imperceptible shifts, a slight drop in hydration, an unexpected spike in low-grade inflammation, or an acute increase in artery stiffness, all factors that become dramatically magnified in the aging body. Hope. And for years, I watched my patients struggle with this silent threat: peripheral artery disease, chronic venous insufficiency, and that constant, painful, dull ache that steals mobility and independence. We treated the symptoms, but we were missing the core problem: the collapse of the vascular infrastructure itself. Then, the mystery deepened. A separate team of dedicated vascular scientists, recognizing the sudden nature of this collapse, pivoted their research. They asked one defining question: could this collapse be reversed? And could it be reversed quickly? Their investigation was nothing short of exhaustive. They meticulously screened over 398 different dietary options. They tested everything from exotic herbal mixtures and ancient tonics to modern mineral blends, simple juices, and teas. Their mission: to see if any of these common drinks could rapidly and dramatically increase blood flow in the legs of adults over 60. The initial findings were disheartening. Most drinks offered zero benefit. Many, particularly those high in processed sugars, actually made circulation worse by fueling inflammation and oxidative stress. The research panel was preparing to declare the entire concept a failure. But hidden within the mountain of data, a few signals emerged. 5 distinct, powerful beverages defied the trend, standing out from the rest. These were not subtle effects. They were immediate, transformative responses to circulation the researchers had genuinely never witnessed before in seniors. The internal architecture of the blood vessels appeared to be reawakening. Arteries long rigid and stiff suddenly relaxed. Nitric oxide, the body's master vasodilator, surged through the system. Lower leg blood vessels, previously constricted and narrow, opened like floodgates. Oxygen levels, a crucial indicator of tissue health, jumped dramatically. And stagnant, pooled blood in the extremities began to move again with surprising, measurable force. The most stunning part of this discovery: the speed of the results. Several of these 5 drinks produced measurable improvements in under 44 minutes. One specific drink, the most powerful of the 5, created changes so profound that researchers could see the difference on high-resolution ultrasound scans in less than an hour. It felt like these simple beverages were reconnecting a lost pathway in the aging body, restoring a function seniors did not even know was still possible. This is not a theoretical discussion. This is a practical, evidence-based protocol based on clinical science. Today, I am going to walk you through the 5 circulation-boosting drinks revealed in this extraordinary study, ranked from least to most powerful, giving you the exact steps, the dosage, the timing, the preparation you need to integrate them into your life. Starting immediately. In the next 30 minutes, you will discover, first, the immediate warming gateway, the spicy drink that unlocks the very first pathway to warmth and movement in the legs. Second, the powerful 3-way tea that attacks the silent driver of aging arteries. Chronic inflammation. Third, the ancient green elixir that restores the function of the blood vessel lining, your endothelium, dramatically increasing blood flow in the farthest reaches of your body. Fourth, the crimson juice that acts as a protective shield, preserving the nitric oxide you already have and reversing the effects of severe peripheral artery disease. And finally, the number 1, most powerful drink that generates a massive nitric oxide surge, producing changes you can measure with a simple pulse oximeter and that physicians can see on a vascular scan all in less than 2 hours. It is time to take control of your circulation, restore warmth to your feet, and reclaim your walking endurance. Let us start with the drink thousands of seniors overlook. Our journey begins with the fifth most powerful, yet perhaps the most misunderstood, of these circulation solutions, cayenne pepper water. This may sound like an uncomfortable place to start, but for the senior who suffers from chronically cold feet or early-stage numbness, this drink is the foundational key. It unlocks one of the first and most immediate physiological pathways needed to restore warmth and initial movement into the lower extremities. The scientific elegance behind cayenne water is centered entirely on one powerful compound: capsaicin. Capsaicin is what gives the pepper its heat, and in the context of circulation, that heat is a signal, not just a sensation. Researchers at the Chinese Academy of Sciences published a pivotal study showing that when consumed in water, capsaicin triggers a fascinating chain reaction throughout your circulatory system. It activates specialized receptors lining the inner walls of your blood vessels called TRPV1 receptors. Think of the TRPV1 receptor as a microscopic internal thermostat. When capsaicin activates this receptor, it sends an urgent, cascading signal throughout your circulatory system. This signal is a command to release an immediate surge of nitric oxide. No, as I have explained before, nitric oxide is your body's natural, most potent vasodilator. It is the molecule that tells the smooth muscle tissue surrounding your arteries and arterioles to relax and open wider, allowing more blood to flow through with less resistance. This relaxation is critical because when you are over 60, your blood vessels are often slightly constricted, a state known as increased vascular tone due to chronic low-grade inflammation and reduced NO availability. By activating TRPV1, capsaicin provides an immediate, powerful counter-signal, forcing those vessels to dilate and allowing blood to rush through with measurably less resistance. The study found that regular capsaicin consumption led to measurably improved blood flow to the extremities, which includes your legs and feet. The tangible result is warmth. The initial study found that participants drinking cayenne water reported feeling a noticeable warming sensation in their lower limbs, their feet, and lower legs within a surprisingly fast window of 30 to 60 minutes after consumption. This warming is not psychological. It is actual blood flow reaching the capillary beds in the furthest reaches of the body. Now, here is the crucial protocol for preparing cayenne pepper water correctly to ensure maximum benefit without causing stomach distress. The first mistake many seniors make is using cold water or too much cayenne. This results in poor absorption and an immediate, overwhelming shock to the system. You must start with about 8 ounces of warm water, not scalding hot, just comfortably warm. Warm water is essential as it assists in the rapid dispersal and absorption of the capsaicin powder. The dosage titration must begin with the smallest effective dose, 1/8 to 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne pepper powder. Stir it thoroughly until the powder is completely dissolved. Consistency is paramount here. Your body needs time to adjust to the heat. Start low and gradually increase the amount over several weeks, working toward the higher range only as your tolerance builds. The optimal timing is to drink it first thing in the morning on an empty stomach. This timing maximizes absorption, ensuring the capsaicin hits the circulatory system rapidly before other food processes interfere. For an additional synergistic boost, add a squeeze of fresh lemon juice. Research indicates that vitamin C, abundant in lemon juice, helps your body produce more of that nitric oxide we talked about, effectively enhancing the circulation benefits triggered by the capsaicin and making it more palatable. It is the consistency of this practice that generates long-term change. Drinking cayenne water once is an interesting experience, but making it a daily morning ritual can lead to significant improvements over time. According to the research, this is a simple, affordable solution, costing only pennies per serving, making it one of the most accessible circulation protocols available. However, there is an essential medical caution you must heed before starting this protocol. If you are taking blood-thinning medications or have a history of stomach ulcers, you must definitely talk to your doctor before adding cayenne water to your routine. Capsaicin can potentially interact with certain medications and may irritate sensitive stomachs. For the vast majority of seniors over 60, however, This warming, simple daily drink can be the first step toward getting more blood flowing to those legs. As effective as this warming gateway is, the next drink on our list takes the mechanism of action moving beyond just immediate vasodilation to tackle one of the deepest root causes of poor circulation in the elderly. Chronic inflammation. While the immediate warmth of cayenne pepper is powerful, the next drink on our list, ginger tea, introduces a far more sophisticated mechanism that addresses the core systemic problem driving arterial stiffness in seniors. This mechanism is ginger's three-way attack on a condition I call inflammaging, which is chronic, low-grade, silent inflammation that hardens blood vessel walls over time. Ginger has been utilized medicinally for over 3,000 years across virtually every known culture. But it was not until modern scientific inquiry that we truly understood why this humble root is such a potent circulatory tool, especially for the lower extremities. The active compounds in ginger are called gingerols and shogols. A comprehensive review published in the Journal of Cardiovascular Pharmacology examined dozens of studies and found consistent evidence that these ginger compounds work in three synergistic ways to dramatically improve blood flow throughout the entire body. First, gingerols act as a natural blood-thinning agent. They achieve this by directly modulating platelet aggregation, that is, they prevent platelets from clumping together too easily. This is critically important for people over 60, where blood viscosity, the thickness and stickiness of the blood, often increases. When blood is too thick, it moves sluggishly, creating friction and resistance, especially in the narrow vessels of the legs. By preventing these tiny clumps from forming, ginger ensures blood can flow more smoothly through your vessels. Second, these compounds exert a powerful relaxing effect on the smooth muscle tissue that encircles your arteries and veins. Just like the capsaicin we discussed, ginger essentially tells your blood vessels to loosen up. This is a crucial function because age and inflammation lead to a state of chronic constriction. Ginger helps restore a more relaxed, dilated state, allowing a greater volume of blood to pass through with less effort. Third, and this is perhaps the most significant benefit for the aging vascular system, ginger possesses profound anti-inflammatory properties. It actively helps reduce the chronic low-grade inflammation that is the primary culprit in making blood vessel walls stiff and narrow. Over time, this systemic inflammaging erodes the flexibility of your arteries, leading to hypertension and poor peripheral circulation. Researchers at the University of Miami conducted a study focused specifically on ginger's effects on older adults with existing circulation problems. They found that participants who consumed ginger daily showed significant, measurable improvements in ankle blood flow measurements after just 8 weeks. The beauty of ginger tea is that it is both effective and enjoyable to prepare, appealing to those who might find the intensity of cayenne water challenging. However, the preparation must be correct to maximize the extraction of those beneficial gingerols and shogols. To make it properly, you must use fresh ginger root. Fresh ginger is decidedly preferable to powdered ginger because it contains significantly higher concentrations of the active compounds. Start with about 1 inch of fresh ginger root. Peel the root, and then either grate it finely or slice it into very thin coins. Bring 2 cups of water to a rolling boil. Add your prepared ginger. Then immediately reduce the heat and allow it to simmer gently for a substantial period, 15 to 20 minutes. The key here is patience. The longer you simmer, the stronger the tea will be, and the more of those beneficial compounds you will extract from the fibrous root. Once simmered, strain out the ginger pieces and drink the tea while it is still warm. The optimal protocol suggests consuming 2 to 3 cups spread strategically throughout the day. If fresh ginger is genuinely unavailable, you can substitute with 1 teaspoon of ground ginger per cup of hot water, though this is the less potent option. For enhanced taste and effect, adding raw honey not only improves the flavor but contributes its own mild anti-inflammatory benefits. Furthermore, a small squeeze of lemon juice, again in vitamin C, helps your body absorb the ginger compounds more efficiently. Many seniors find that the strategic timing of this drink is key. Drinking ginger tea approximately 30 minutes before engaging in physical activity, like a long walk, results in noticeably less leg fatigue and cramping. This is because the initial antiplatelet and vasodilatory effects are peaking right as the demand for increased blood flow begins. The pervasive warming sensation you experience after consumption is not merely psychological. It is physical evidence that your blood vessels are dilating, and more nutrient-rich blood is reaching your skin and extremities. While ginger's ability to thin the blood, relax arteries, and fight systemic inflammation is impressive, it does not yet compare to the direct, measurable impact of our next drink on the internal lining of the blood vessel, the endothelium, which is the ultimate gatekeeper of circulation. As impressive as ginger's systemic anti-inflammatory action is, it still ranks below our next drink when it comes to the specific, measurable goal of reversing internal arterial damage. Number 3 is green tea, the endothelial guardian. When Japanese researchers initially began investigating why populations in certain regions of Japan exhibited remarkably low rates of cardiovascular disease, often despite other prevailing risk factors, their attention was consistently drawn back to one daily ritual. These populations drank green tea every single day, often multiple cups, and had done so for generations. The compound responsible for green tea's extraordinary effects on blood vessels is known as epigallocatechin gallate, mercifully shortened to EGG. EGG's not just another antioxidant. It has become one of the most intensively studied natural compounds in cardiovascular research over the past 2 decades. Its mechanism of action is precise and critical for the health of anyone over 60, working primarily by improving the function of your endothelium. The endothelium is the thin, single layer of specialized cells that lines the inside of every blood vessel in your body. From your heart down to the tiniest capillaries in your toes, it is the inner skin of your circulation. When your endothelium is healthy, it is an active, responsive organ that produces the necessary nitric oxide to keep vessels relaxed and blood flowing freely. When the endothelium is damaged by high blood pressure, inflammation, or high blood sugar, it becomes dysfunctional, fails to produce NO. And this is the starting point for atherosclerosis, arterial stiffness, and poor circulation. EGG works to restore this critical function. A landmark study published in the European Journal of Cardiovascular Prevention found that individuals who consumed 4 cups of tea daily had significantly better endothelial function compared to non-tea drinkers. Crucially, the improvements were measurable within just 2 weeks of starting regular consumption. What makes this particularly relevant for leg circulation is that the blood vessels in your legs and feet are the farthest from the heart, making them the most vulnerable to endothelial dysfunction. Therefore, any improvement in endothelial health shows up first and most dramatically in the lower extremities. Researchers at the Athens Medical School conducted studies specifically measuring blood flow to the legs before and after green tea consumption and documented increases of up to 16% in some participants. That is a remarkable structural improvement from a simple beverage. To harness this power, the proper preparation of green tea for maximum circulation benefits requires attention to detail, as water temperature and steeping time significantly affect how much eggs you extract from the leaves. The essential green tea protocol is: start with water that is approximately 170 degrees Fahrenheit. This means bringing the water to a boil, then letting it cool for about 2 minutes before pouring it over the tea leaves. Steeping must be limited to 3 to 5 minutes only. Steeping longer can actually destroy some of the beneficial XG compounds and release excessive tannins, which make the tea unpleasantly bitter. Aim for 3 to 4 cups throughout the day, spacing them out rather than consuming them all at once, because your body can only absorb a certain amount of XG at one time. For those sensitive to caffeine, look for a decaffeinated green tea, but verify that it was decaffeinated using the carbon dioxide method rather than harsh chemical solvents, as this better preserves the precious XG content. Here is an extraordinary tip for seniors. Research suggests that adding a small amount of fresh lemon juice to your green tea actually stabilizes the egg end and increases its absorption by up to 5 times compared to drinking green tea plain. This simple act protects the XG from degradation in the gut, ensuring a far greater dose reaches your bloodstream to repair your endothelium. Remember, the consistency of your green tea habit is the true metric of success. The endothelial improvements accumulate over time, and the benefits compound with regular consumption. However, as potent as green tea is for circulation, it still ranks below our next drink which takes the concept of nitric oxide support to the next level by creating a protective shield around the no molecule itself. If there is one drink that has surprised the medical research community with its circulation-boosting power, it is pomegranate juice. For centuries, it was regarded as an exotic fruit, but the studies emerging in recent years have compelled even highly skeptical cardiologists to take serious notice of this ancient elixir. Pomegranate juice, in terms of vascular health, is a game changer because it moves beyond merely producing nitric oxide, as the previous drinks do, to becoming a dedicated nitric oxide shield. The secret lies in the fruit's incredibly high concentration of unique antioxidants called punicalagins or punicagens. These compounds are not found in any other fruit in such high concentrations. Their primary, critical function is to protect and enhance nitric oxide no activity in the bloodstream more effectively than virtually any other natural compound tested. You must understand this mechanism. Nitric oxide is a precious, fleeting molecule. It is produced by your blood vessel lining the endothelium and immediately performs its job of vasodilation. However, it is simultaneously under constant attack, primarily by reactive oxygen species unstable molecules that rapidly break down and deactivate the NO. As you age past 60, this oxidative stress increases, meaning the little NO your body does manage to produce is destroyed almost instantly, limiting its ability to relax your arteries. Punicalagins fundamentally interrupt this destruction process. They are powerful scavengers of these destructive oxygen species, effectively shielding the nitric oxide molecule and allowing it to work longer and more effectively. Furthermore, they also stimulate your body to produce more nitric oxide in the first place. This dual action production plus protection is what makes pomegranate juice so potent for the vascular system. The clinical evidence supporting this is compelling, especially for those suffering from severe circulation issues. A groundbreaking study published in Clinical Nutrition followed patients diagnosed with peripheral artery disease PAD, which is the most extreme form of poor leg circulation. These patients typically suffer from claudication, severe cramping, and pain after walking only a short distance, forcing them to stop. The study found that patients who drank pomegranate juice daily for 3 months experienced an improvement in their walking distance without leg pain by over 30%. That is a remarkable result for a simple dietary intervention, especially considering the severity of their condition. Similar reversal effects have been documented in other large arteries. Israeli researchers at the Rambam Medical Center conducted studies, specifically looking at how pomegranate juice affects the carotid arteries, the vessels supplying blood to the brain, and found that plaque buildup actually reversed in patients who drank the juice regularly. These powerful effects are translatable to the leg arteries as well. For seniors, the preparation and selection of pomegranate juice are critically important because of the natural sugar content. The pomegranate protocol requires strict adherence to these rules. If you are buying commercial juice, you must look for 100% pureed juice with no added sugars or other fruit juices mixed in. The added sugars can actually counteract the cardiovascular benefits by promoting inflammation and contributing to blood sugar instability. The ideal dosage, according to research, is about 8 ounces per day. Drinking more than this does not appear to provide significant additional benefits, and it simply adds unnecessary calories and natural fruit sugars. The best time to drink pomegranate juice for maximizing circulation benefits is with a meal, particularly one containing healthy fats. The fat helps your body absorb the fat-soluble antioxidants, including the punicalagins, more efficiently. Some studies even suggest splitting your daily intake into 2 4-ounce servings, one in the morning and one in the evening, to provide more sustained 24-hour circulation support. If you are monitoring your blood sugar, which many people over 60 are, be mindful that pomegranate juice does contain natural sugars, but the overall antioxidant content actually helps to moderate the blood sugar response. Most people find they can incorporate it without problems when they are mindful of their overall sugar intake. Finally, one particularly fascinating finding is that pomegranate juice appears enhanced to the effectiveness of other circulation-supporting drinks and supplements. This is the basis of what we call the stacking effect, which we will discuss later. But essentially, People who drink it alongside the other beverages on this list often report better results than those using any single approach alone. Yet, even with all these impressive benefits shielding no reversing plaque and improving walking distance, pomegranate juice still takes second place to the single most effective natural circulation booster ever studied. The number one solution offers a mechanism that is faster and generates a sheer quantity of nitric oxide that is unmatched. Here we stand at the number one most powerful drink on this list, the single most effective natural circulation booster ever studied. Beetroot juice. If you have never considered drinking this deep red beverage, what I am about to explain regarding its unique mechanism and speed might completely change your mind, because the scientific research on this deep beverage is nothing short of extraordinary when it comes to dramatically and rapidly improving blood flow to your legs. Beetroot juice contains the highest natural concentration of dietary nitrates of any vegetable, far exceeding spinach or arugula. When you consume this juice, a remarkable, multi-step process unfolds in your body. A process that bypasses many of the limiting factors of the other circulation-boosting compounds we have discussed. This is the salivary bacterial nitrate to nitric oxide conversion pathway. When you drink beetroot juice, the high concentration of nitrates are first converted by bacteria in your mouth and stomach into nitrites, and then rapidly into nitric oxide. This master molecule tells your blood vessels to relax and open wide. What makes this pathway in beetroot juice different from all other nitric oxide boosters is the sheer, overwhelming quantity of nitric oxide it produces and, more importantly, how quickly it works, unlike green tea or pomegranate, which require long-term endothelial repair and protection. Beetroot juice provides a massive, immediate chemical substrate for no production. Measurable improvements in blood vessel dilation occur within just 2 to 3 hours after drinking it. This is why it is the immediate solution the study highlighted. Researchers at the University of Exeter, a leading center for beetroot research, conducted a landmark study that found beetroot juice not only reduced blood pressure and improved exercise tolerance, but crucially, increased blood flow to the legs by an average of 20% in participants over the age of 65. This is not a modest improvement. It is a dramatic enhancement in circulation that participants could genuinely feel in the form of warmer feet, less numbness, and significantly reduced leg fatigue during walking. To confirm this, the Wake Forest University School of Medicine took this research further by using MRI imaging to actually visualize blood flow in the brains and legs of older adults before and after beetroot juice consumption. The images showed clearly that blood was reaching areas of tissue that had been relatively starved before. What is particularly exciting for people dealing with peripheral artery disease or diabetic circulation problems is that beetroot juice appears to be most effective precisely where it is needed most, in the smallest blood vessels, the furthest reaches of the circulatory system, including the tiny capillaries in your feet and toes. Now, the proper preparation of beetroot juice is essential, and there is one vital caution related to the salivary pathway that most seniors miss. The proper preparation of beetroot juice requires some attention to detail to maximize its circulation benefits. If you are making it fresh yourself, you will need a juicer capable of handling hard root vegetables, and you should use about 2 medium-sized raw beets to produce approximately 8 ounces of juice. The juice is most potent when consumed fresh, ideally within an hour of juicing, because the beneficial nitrates begin to break down with exposure to air and light. If buying commercial juice, always look for bottles that contain only beetroot juice without added ingredients, and check that it has been stored properly in a cool, dark environment. This is critical, since the conversion from nitrate to nitrite is performed by the beneficial bacteria in your mouth. Using antibacterial mouthwash immediately before or after drinking beetroot juice will sterilize your mouth, kill these essential bacteria, and completely shut down the entire nitric oxide conversion pathway. You must avoid mouthwash for at least 2 hours before and after consumption. The timing of consumption matters significantly for circulation benefits, with research suggesting that drinking beetroot juice about 2 hours before physical activity produces the most noticeable improvements. Blood flow during exercise. Many people find that drinking beetroot juice in the late morning and then going for an afternoon walk results in dramatically improved endurance and reduced leg discomfort compared to their usual experience. The taste is earthy and slightly sweet, which some people do not enjoy, and mixing it with a small amount of apple or carrot juice can improve the flavor while still delivering most of the circulation benefits. If you are taking medications for blood pressure or erectile dysfunction, which work through similar no-enhancing mechanisms, you should consult with your doctor before adding significant amounts of beetroot juice to your diet, as the effects can be enhanced. For most people over 60, starting with 4 ounces daily and gradually increasing to 8 ounces provides the optimal balance of benefits without any concerns. The research is clear that beetroot juice is the most powerful natural drink for improving leg circulation. Combining this power with the protective and restorative actions of the other 4 drinks creates a comprehensive, multifaceted approach to supporting healthy blood flow throughout your entire body. We have now explored the 5 most powerful natural drinks for improving lower leg circulation, each with its unique mechanism. Cayenne for immediate TROP1 vasodilation, ginger for anti-inflammatory arterial flexibility, green tea for endothelial repair, pomegranate for nitric oxide protection, and beetroot for unmatched no quantity. The crucial next step is moving from individual understanding to strategic integration, how to safely and effectively combine these beverages into a cohesive daily protocol to maximize what I call the stacking effect. The stacking effect recognizes that the aging circulatory system is compromised by multiple layered pathologies: stiffness from inflammation, damage to the inner lining, reduced no production, and rapid no breakdown. A single drink may address one issue, but a strategically timed combination addresses all 4 simultaneously, leading to exponentially greater results. Here is the strategic integration protocol, complete with precise dosages and timing for the senior over 60, starting with the morning activation protocol. This phase focuses on immediate vasodilation, warming the extremities, and preparing the blood for the day. You must start the day on an empty stomach with the warming gateway, cayenne pepper water. Drink 8 ounces of comfortably warm water mixed with 1 per 8 to 1 per 4 teaspoon of cayenne powder, along with a squeeze of fresh lemon juice. This immediately activates the TROP1 receptors, signaling the release of initial nitric oxide and beginning the systemic warming process. Follow up with your first cup of freshly simmered ginger tea, about 8 ounces, made from 1 inch of sliced root, simmered for 15 to 20 minutes. This introduces the gingerols, which start to thin the blood, relax the arteries, and launch the anti-inflammatory attack against inflammaging. Drinking this early gives the antiplatelet effect time to integrate before any heavy lifting or activity. Next, we move to the endothelial repair and performance protocol. This phase focuses on long-term endothelial health and generating the powerful pre-activity no surge. Consume your first of 3 to 4 cups of properly steeped green tea 170 degrees Fahrenheit water, steeped for 3 to 5 minutes. Crucially, add a small squeeze of lemon juice to this cup. Research suggests this stabilizes the aging and increases its absorption by up to 5 times. This dedicated dose begins the repair process on your endothelial lining, the long-term guardian of your vessel health. This is followed by the strategic performance dose of beetroot juice. Drink 8 ounces of 100% pure beetroot juice. The timing is critical because the massive nitric oxide surge produced by the nitrate conversion pathway peaks within 2 to 3 hours. Therefore, consuming it at midday aligns the peak no level with most people's typical afternoon activity window, maximizing endurance and reducing leg discomfort during walking or exercise. Remember the vital caution here: do not use antibacterial mouthwash within 2 hours of consuming the beetroot juice, as this will sabotage the conversion process. Finally, we transition to the protective and sustained flow protocol. This phase focuses on sustaining no levels, protecting the vessels from oxidative stress, and maintaining the benefits overnight. Consume your second and third cups of green tea and the second cup of ginger tea, spacing these drinks out to ensure continuous support throughout the day. Drink 4 ounces of 100% pure, unsweetened pomegranate juice with your evening meal. This is the nitric oxide shield dose. Strategically consuming it with dinner, particularly a meal containing healthy fats, significantly helps your body absorb the fat-soluble punicollagens, maximizing their protective effect against no breakdown. This sustains the dilation effects well into the night, often resulting in warmer feet and better sleep quality. As Dra. Hope, I must stress the critical importance of safety, particularly for the senior demographic, so we must discuss crucial cautions and medication interactions. Ginger. Cayenne. The powerful no-boosting effects of beetroot can enhance the activity of prescribed blood-thinning medications like warfarin or certain antiplatelet drugs. If you are on any such medication, you must consult your doctor before integrating these drinks into your routine. Cayenne pepper. While beneficial, can irritate sensitive stomachs or exacerbate existing conditions like GERD or ulcers. Start with the 1 per 8 teaspoon dose and monitor your tolerance. Blood pressure medications are also a concern, as beetroot juice enhances no production, which is a key mechanism for many blood pressure and erectile dysfunction medications. The combined effect can lead to an excessive drop in blood pressure. So again, consult your physician, especially when starting the full 8-ounce dose of beetroot juice. This stacking effect is not about perfection, but about consistency. Choosing 2 or 3 drinks that you can adhere to daily will generate far more long-term benefit than attempting the full protocol for just 1 week. This strategic integration is the most comprehensive approach to restoring the vitality of your vascular system. We began this journey by challenging the dangerous misconception that poor circulation simply fades away. We established that the crisis often collapses suddenly, triggered by shifts in hydration, inflammation, and artery stiffness. We then detailed the 5 science-backed drinks that can rapidly reverse this decline, moving from the immediate warming of cayenne water to the unmatched power of beetroot juice. Now, the final step in the full vitality roadmap is to understand the real-world impact of this commitment and, more importantly, to address the common mistakes that sabotage lifetime adherence and the sustained flow of health. The goal of this protocol is not merely to produce favorable numbers on a medical chart, although those are important, such as the 20% increase in blood flow to the legs seen with beetroot juice or the 16% increase with green tea. The true measure of success is the translation of these metrics into daily life benefits that restore the independence and comfort of your senior years. The real-world impact of sustained flow. First, you will notice warmer feet and less numbness. The warming sensation from cayenne and the direct vasodilation from the nitric oxide boost are physical, evidence that blood is finally reaching the tiny capillaries in your feet and toes, the areas most starved of oxygen. This is often the first, most gratifying change seniors report. Second, you will experience significantly reduced leg fatigue and cramping during walking. The gingerols thin the blood, reducing resistance, while the nitric oxide from beetroot juice ensures your leg muscles receive adequate oxygen while you are using them, dramatically improving endurance and walking distance. Third, there is often improved sleep quality. Poor circulation can be a silent disruptor of sleep, manifesting as restless leg syndrome or nocturnal cramping. When blood flow is sustained throughout the night, those uncomfortable sensations often subside, leading to deeper, more restful sleep. The single biggest obstacle to sustained flow is a lack of consistency. Remember, the consistency of your habit matters more than the exact amount you drink on any given day. The endothelial improvements, for example, accumulate over time. The 2 major mistakes that sabotage adherence. The first major mistake is the perfection trap. Many seniors, seeing all 5 powerful drinks, attempt to start the full, comprehensive stacking protocol on day 1. They try to drink 3 cups of green tea, 2 cups of ginger tea, cayenne water, and beetroot juice, all while adjusting for timing. This complexity inevitably leads to overwhelm and burnout within the first week. My advice is to follow the principle of gradual integration. Start with the 2 drinks that appeal most to you, perhaps the pleasantness of ginger tea and the power of beetroot juice. Master those 2. Integrate them into your routine for 3 weeks, and then introduce the next drink, like green tea. This phased approach converts the protocol from a grueling regimen into a sustainable ritual. The second major mistake, particularly highlighted by the beetroot research, is the unseen sabotage. Oral hygiene. As I explained earlier, The massive no surge from beetroot juice is entirely dependent on the bacteria on your tongue converting nitrate to nitrite. If you use antibacterial mouthwash immediately before or after drinking beetroot juice, you sterilize the very bacteria needed for this conversion, effectively turning the most powerful circulation booster into inert red water. You must avoid mouthwash for at least 2 hours surrounding your beetroot consumption. Your legs have carried you through decades of life, and they deserve the sustained nourishment and support that these simple, science-backed beverages can provide. These natural approaches work with your body's own biology rather than against it, supporting the systems already in place to keep your blood moving efficiently. The combination of immediate heat, inflammation fighting, endothelial repair, no protection, and no boosting creates a powerful, comprehensive defense against the circulatory collapse that threatens senior vitality. The fear of losing mobility and comfort due to poor circulation is a natural anxiety. But today, we have armed you with the knowledge to confront that fear with certainty and action. We have moved past vague advice and detailed the specific, clinically validated protocol for restoring the blood flow that can dramatically change your quality of life. The solutions lie not in complex, expensive medical interventions, but often in the simple, ancient wisdom unlocked by modern science, the power contained within 5 readily available drinks. Understanding the precise dosage, the optimal timing, and the mechanisms of action is your first step toward lifelong, sustained vitality. Choose your starting drink, commit to the consistency, and recognize that with every sip, you are actively repairing, protecting, and revitalizing the arteries that connect you the life you want to lead. The power to reverse this age-related decline is in your hands. Starting now,